Bible said, but if anyone provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he had denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. And this is not only goods and services, friend. It's training that child to join the army of God. It is our purpose, friends. Remember remember the early years, 1 to 8, the child is finding identity. He's looking in the glass. What you say is who he thinks he is. Remember, when you leave that stage, you get to that betwixt and between stage where he doesn't know who he is, and you got to make him know who he is now. He doesn't know, he's not a man, he's not a child, but you make him know that he's in that transition, and you're going to make him a good man. And then he comes to the place where he is a man to return to the society. What is return to the society is what you have cultivated. When we look at our children, we must understand that their learning has to do also with their environment. And that's why God said in Genesis 18:19, he said, for I know him, meaning Abraham, that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord. I want to stop to say something. I was lecturing a class. Those girls were coming with all kind of half a clothes. So one came well dressed, LGBT, well dressed. So I said I will tell her something nice, so the others will understand that dress is important. So when she walked up to me, Doc, I said, how are you dressed up so nice? You coming to meet me or what? And she said, without any fringe, without any butt, without any pause. She said, if I was coming to meet you, I would have walked with less clothes. So I recognized the ball spinning on 20 flight. So I'm going back in my crease. But the point I'm making, she did it in front of the class. Because the mindset of most of them were like mine. You see, friend, your friend in the night, on Friday night and on Saturday night, while you are sleeping or you and mama are having a chat, they are talking to on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. But they are talking with friends who are telling them about going to Zen and Marshall Monday and MX Prime. And that's the talk they're having. And what they did with their boyfriend. And that's the talk they're having. You see, so when you are speaking to them in the Sabbath school and the preacher is preaching, they have friends. They can't hear you. So the way to deal with it is to eliminate or minimize the friends that they have that do not believe what they believe. And the least you can do is to give them the best that you can. Because after that stage is where the confusion begins, in which we call the liminal stage or the transition stage. And that's from the ages about 8 to 18 to 19. But more so from the early teenage years, from 13, whereby the child doesn't know, is betwixt and between. He doesn't know if he's a child or if he's an adult. And you also feed that, Elder Murphy, you also feed that into his mind. But when he acts in a certain way, say, boy, behave yourself. What do you think, is a man? And then when he tried to act like a child, he said, a big boy as you acting like a little child? So confusion began to reign in his mind. And he doesn't know if he's going or if he's coming. And there's no help from his father or his family because we also don't understand. And friend, I want to do as what Pastor St. Hill do. I want to ask God forgiveness because I didn't know either. But thank God he was merciful and my boy turned out okay. But as I look at the whole boyhood and boyhood training, I recognize how tragic it could have turned out. And first, I want to say to you, you need to protect your children. Stop putting them in harm's way. Because if you want to guide that boy, you want his heart to lean towards God. If you want him to walk the way you want him to walk, then you got to make sure it happens in whichever way possible. Here is your son. Here is your son who would have received a new identity. He's not a child. During those teenage years, the betwixt and between years is where you give him that new identity. And he returns back into society now as an adult, but a well-rounded adult. An adult that you can be proud of, and nobody in blue and gray will be knocking at your door in the night. You'll spend less time outside the courts. Abraham understands the ways of the Lord. Abraham knows what God requires of him as a man. And because he's saying that Abraham knows him, he's saying because Abraham knows him, then Abraham will grow his children in the way of the Lord. You see, it starts not so much from what you want the child to do. It starts more with what you ought to do. May God bless you.